Good evening, everyone. Let's start the fix and prevent AI hallucination about your SaaS. Previously we did how you can create a AEO strategy for your company, and one of the key challenges any SaaS product or any website will have is this AI hallucination. So first, I want to explain what is the hallucination. So if you go and Google what does it mean hallucination in AI content or AI context, basically there are a few things that you need to check. That is, sometimes it might be false information or outdated information or made up entirely. So that we call as hallucination. ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, Perplexity, any of those LLMs at different instance, they can hallucinate. If you think about hallucination, basically how the LLM work is they predict the next word, right? So if you do not have any guardrails when you are searching informations, it will predict the next word. If that LLM does not have the enough context or data, that it will predict something, it might make something up and give you that information. So we categorize this hallucination into three main areas. First one is factual errors. That means wrong pricing, wrong features, wrong founding year, or whatever the information facts about your business can get it wrong. And then attribution errors. The attribution errors meaning probably crediting your information to someone else or someone else's informations to you, because let's say you are in the same ERP solution industry or that particular category, and then what will happen is all the ERP will have user management console or user management area, and that attribute automatically will come into you because other people has, but you might not have it. So at the same time, whatever the bad or good other people might have will come to you. So that's attribution error. And then the third one, fabricated details. So that's where the main challenge comes in. You can control factual errors and attribution errors, but sometimes this fabrication is little bit difficult to do, because if it does not have enough information, sometimes it invent new codes, fake case studies, fake reviews, features that you don't have. It just go with the word generation, because it the how the LLM works is it generates, so it predict the next word based on the parameters or the training model it has, and it gives you some data. So any SaaS company or any website out there will have these three hallucination challenges. And if I move into a little bit deep, how the AI hallucination and why the AI hallucination about your brand. So the first thing is mixed, thin, or outdated web presence. That means generally SaaS development teams, whoever developing the software might not be developing the website. So the web development team might not know all the things, so they will use all the marketing facts, and they will add few things to make sure that they can satisfy the clients or end user, and the SaaS team might not have it. So that mixed content will create problem. And also sometimes you might have two or three developers, the homepage content might not uh, goes with the pricing page, and the FAQ page might have different answer. I'll show you a few case. I have two case studies. I'll show you how this happens. And also sometimes when you're using different timelines. So the first you are developing with coordination with your the SaaS team, and then finally the marketing team is pushing the new pages. They want to push the blog updates. So there is no coordinate. They will push the content. So all of this can create hallucinations. Mixed and thin outdated web presence is that. And the second one is training data lag. So the generally what happens is AEO and GEO, general GEO part, all the AI LLMs, they use our data for their training purposes. And whatever the content we have right now, it will go into the training purposes. And then after few days, or after, after that model updates, even though we update our data, the model does not have that latest data, so it might hallucinate. But recently with the query fan out, uh, recently we have published few content about query fan out, but I'll explain it here. In the query fan out, what happens is, if you search in LLMs, what is the best CRM in the chat gpt, it will break that down into few pieces. Like, then it will check what is the best crm, and what is the updated list, and what is the pricing, what are the facts about crm. They will check the reviews. So one query will break it down into multiple queries, and will gather the information, and final answer will compose from those answers. So the training data lag is somewhat fixed, but is still, it will take some data from previous sources as well as new sources. So the final answer might have hallucinated data. And then the name confusion. One of the key challenges site signal had was, site signal, our tool, when we launch it, we had a us entity called site signal.us. So they are into different industry, they are in communication, and we were also creating our content with site signal, site signal, site signal everywhere. And then when people started searching about site signal, then Google AI and all the LLMs started telling there are two entities, which entity you are talking about. Finally, what we did was, we started creating a lot of content with sitesignal.app, which is our full domain name. So we want to avoid that name confusion. So you might have similar competitors, similar brand names with different domain names. So name confusion is also another thing why the AI hallucinate. And then generally, when you develop a website, how you do it is, you use html, javascript, css, and those kind of languages. So if you are using vibe coding, most of the time your website might be developed on js based, javascript based website. And that, with that, generally AI bots having a really difficult time to scroll and navigate in your website. In that case, they will check whether you have this structured data, that is a json schema that we use in our website to give an understanding to all the bots. Generally in seo also we use json schemas. With json schema, machine will able to read and understand the coding, and will able to get the facts right. So if you are using a javascript or html based website, make sure you have that structured data set up for you. And then the fifth one, third party mentions. You can control your website. So all of this data mixed in, outdated web presence, training data lag, name confusion, structured data, everything is related to your website. You can control that. But when it's come to third party mention, that also will affect on your brand. So for an example, even though you say I have this and that, if people started commenting you don't have that, then there will be a problem. Then the AI will not able to gather the facts correctly, so it will hallucinate, or it will try to create its own answer. So make sure the spare third party mention, you monitor that. So those are the why AI hallucinates. Those are the five things generally why AI hallucinates. And so previously I talked to you with modern AI search, RAG and query fan out. They the llm developers like ChatGPT, Anthropic, all of those companies, they try to fix that issues. Because as you know, previously when we talking about ChatGPT, we knew with the version some information might be not correct. So what we did was, they added the rag and the query fan out, which is actually solving the issue 99%. And so you need to monitor first. Let's say if you have few facts, if you want to check best AI tool, let's say best AI tool, then the AI citation tool, geo SaaS. So you need to make sure you know the query fan out of your prompt. And then you start adding the content based on that particular query. So how to check for hallucinations? So the easiest manual method is go to ChatGPT and first you list down what are the prompts that you need to check. So for an example, what is site signal? What are the site signal competitors? And what is the best tool available for AI monitoring? And who developed the XYZ product? And who are the competitors? All of that you write it down. What are the prompts that are important for your brand that AI might hallucinate? So then what you can do is go to ChatGPT and start asking those questions and put the answers into Excel sheet. Do the same with Gemini. Do the same with Claude. Do the same with Perplexity, and keep it going. So generally the recommendation is check it every 2 to 3 days. So if you have a, let's say your product value is $500 per month, and if it is an annual recurring, uh, let's say monthly recurring revenue is monthly price is $500, and if it keeps telling people it's $1,000, and you need to go and find it out why and how frequently this is happening. So it's really important. You need to decide your frequency based on the value and based on how many hallucinations are happening and how important that particular detail is for your brand. And then down the line you need to take screenshots and compare the answers. You might able to find the answer source from your website. You might find the answer source from G2. You might find the answer source from Google reviews. So you need to have all of this data saved in Excel sheet, and down the line after let's say week or 2 weeks 3 weeks, you can upload this again to an LLM and analyze it. And generally rule of thumb is you monitor this and analyze it and fix it. So you know the what are the causes and you need to go and start fixing it. So you need to repeat this. So that's a manual method. An automated method is if you use site signal, you set up your facts and you give the expected answer and you select what are the LLMs that you want to select. Generally with the solutions you are using, site signal will offer you ChatGPT, Gemini or AI or etc. And then it will flag what are the inaccuracies, and then you don't have to manually check or compare or take screenshots. And then with our latest feature, automated solutions or automated task list, it will give you these informations are not correct, go and fix it in these platforms. So that's the automated method. And if you don't want to invest, you can go into the manual method, and you can always get it done manually. You can assign someone and ask them to do it every day. And the final one, how to prevent and fix hallucination. So that might be the biggest question you might be having right now after going through all of that data. How, what should I do? So basically I have two things. So this one and the other one I'll give you one by one steps. And the main thing is fix reactively. That means you check what is happening out there and you check the facts and you fix it. And then the proactive one is you keep everything in documented manner, and you know the source and everywhere you are placing your content, and you update everything proactively. One key thing is keep one master source of truth. You cannot have one developer maintaining one document, another developer maintaining another document, and your SaaS development team documenting your features in their GitHub or whatever the documentation method they are having. So you can't have that. And also the most challenging thing is you need to decide whether you are going to be reactive and proactive. So if I give you an action plan, what you need to do. Number one is regularly monitor the facts that can make a difference to your business. So you need to make a decision. What are the informations that I'm going to monitor? Because you don't have to monitor everything. You don't have the time for that, and you don't have the resources for that. So important things. For an example, if the pricing is important for you, start monitoring that, because people might be commenting everywhere telling different price or different thing about your brand. So start monitoring that. and let's say the founding year is important, or if you are trying to get venture capital funding, user base or that data is important, then make sure you start like monitoring that. Because what happens is, as you know, most of us, what when we see something, we go and google it, and we check the AI overview, or you go to chat GPT and you ask the question. So even if you go to search engine, now the search engine has the answer mode. With that, you cannot bypass. So decide what are the key things, and then start monitoring that. And the second thing, make sure you have one source document recording all the facts, which includes the username and password for your third party profiles and everything, and including the features. So all of those who are doing the development and the marketing team, both of the team should refer into one document. And the third one, like I said, listicles, social profiles, whatever the guest blogs or guest articles you have done, list down everything in one document. Don't keep separate documents, keep it in one place. And then the third one also, when you're monitoring, make sure you monitor independent reviews, because that also shape the answers. For an example, because when you're monitoring, sometimes AI, the ChatGPT and Gemini might not show you the source, but you know your website, you might able to go and fix it, but sometimes reviews you might not know. So make sure you monitor that as well. And then your website or the content you control, you update it properly. You make sure you have the human readable version as well as machine readable version. So the machine readable version is the JSON schemas. Update it with JSON schemas, and make sure you have all the JSON schema types readily available in your website. And then for the human also, you make sure they can read all the content. So keep it up to date. And then the third party website, sometimes the reviews and people might have put articles there, but you have no way of contacting them. Make it a blog post, put that, get the content into your website, to the titles and etc, using the same type of content, and explain what has happened. This has a blog post, it's outdated, and these are the facts, and this is how you're backing it up. Probably you might have few reviews or comments from other third party website which are up to date, so you use that to back your comment or you back your article. Because if you say everything without backing those data, still that third party website content might have a chance. So make sure if you can't reach out to them, you use that as a content for you. So recently for a marketing, I have read an article. This person who got a bad review asked the guy to take it down, and he hasn't take it down. So he put a comment saying, whoever reads this comes to our place and say XYZ, and we will give you a 30% discount. You try it out and see whether this is true or false. So he doesn't lose customers, because when they read it, they see the bad comment and they see the promotion, and they come and try it. So based on your ability and based on your strategy, you can do something creative to correct those facts. So those are the six things I would if you are doing it manually, do it like this. And I have a two case studies I want to show you. So the first case study, this is our site signal hallucination tracking. So this is an update sent to the client. You can see ChatGPT has certain things matched, Perplexity has certain things matched, and there are partial match things mismatch. So you can see all of that data, right? And as a result, when we were checking their website for AI visibility also, on January 9th, AI visibility went down. Does anyone want to take a guess and take a chance why this has happened? So they have match content, mismatch content, partial match content, and then and then on January 9th, the whole AI visibility went down. So the reason, before I go into the reason, this is the stat: 77% of the data they had issues, and 16 out of 26, 16 points had flagged, 8 mismatches, 6 partial mismatches, 2 insufficient data. And when it's come to comparison, ChatGPT had 54% flags, and the Perplexity had 69% flag. The reason is, so we are checking their prompts also. They had kept their UAT website alive, and they allowed that content to be visible uh, on the web. So with that, what happened was AI used that data, and it did all of this hallucination. So what happened was, when we caught it, we informed it to them, and then they removed the access from the UAT website. They kept the live website alive, and at that time, ChatGPT has dropped all the links and all the facts, and everything went haywire because it did not have enough information to capture. So when you are working with your developer, make sure you keep your data secure, and all of those training UATs and whatever should not go into the public bots. You should block it. Otherwise, it will use it for the training data, and it will start hallucinating because all the facts are now incorrect and outdated when the new website launched. And there was some huge mismatch. So the first thing is that the first case study, and the second one is, so recently our team has found this mixed content issue. How many AI engines does Site Signal monitor? If you go and ask, it will tell you 4 AI engines, but actually we have 5 engines. 4 engines are on live, and 1 engine is at the moment we are testing it out. And then I ask again, list it down and give me the facts. And then what happened was, it said 4 was incomplete. There are actually 5 AI engines, and it listed down and said FAQ has a different answer. And then we have the home page content, it has a different answer, and also the pricing page has a different answer. So you can see the mixed content is allowing ChatGPT to hallucinate. That's also, we call it as hallucinate, and it goes after factual errors. So if you recently, the this is actually not that bad, but what happened was, we did a comparison, and it said we have about 5 to 9 engines. We actually don't have 9. So if someone came because we have 9 and thinking other people does not have 9, then we would be in trouble. So, and also the issue is, when this is there, it will take some time to get it right. For us, the previous case study, once we correct everything, once we track down everything, and it took us about 3 weeks to get the AI visibility and the facts right, because all the caching, all the things needs to be removed, and the access should have been removed, and we have forwarded all the bots into the new website. So there were a few technical things that we had to done. So the mixed content also, once we complete it, generally with the rag, we are hoping things will get it sorted really fast. But these are practical issues. Any company, even though we have the site signal and we are monitoring our website, these are practical things any company and any developer will have. So the good thing is, you monitor and you correct it. If you do not monitor, you do not know what's happening, and you do not know what other people are seeing. So the issue is, when you get the results and when you lose a job or a product, or a sale, and when you start monitoring why you are losing sales, that time it will be too late for you because you have lost so many sales. So those are the two cases studies. There are a lot of experience, and for the last over the year we have been dealing with a lot of beta users. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and if you need any clarifications, you can let me know. I'll clarify. So thank you very much, and